Hello, everybody. It's time for Tuesdays in the Shop again. I'm Yvette, and this is Andrea, and Jen is hiding somewhere back there. We're Gotham Quilts, and we are here today we teased this, I think, like 2 weeks ago, that if we got it done, we had a really good live coming up, and we didn't get it done. So it's this week instead, and hooray! First of all, thank you to Jen for sewing the sample. She did a ton of work in the last week, and we really appreciate it. And now it's time to announce our next Block of the Month program. It is called String Fling, and it's going to be a 6-month program. So instead of a whole year of piecing blocks, it's only 6 months because it's broken down by the rings of the project, which is hanging behind Jen, and we'll show you a better picture of it in a second. This Block of the Month starts in September and runs for 6 months. Yeah, but this is going to be a really, really good one. Why are you making that face, Jen?
I'm sorry. I'm still having like the adrenaline rush crash.
Yeah. Do you want me to feature you and you can show the quilt behind you?
Sure, I can try. All right. All right. I'll move. My studio wasn't camera ready from this angle.
It looks great to me.
Most of it.
Yeah, it came out great.
It is ginormous.
Yeah.
Ginormous. My room cannot accommodate an 84-inch quilt.
Yeah, I can tell.
An 84 is queen size, right?
Yes.
Okay, so this finishes at queen size.
And it's really a row by month as opposed to a block by month because so you start with the center, not a lone star, but whatever that star is. And then you do the second row the next month, so on and so forth. But you really get to try a lot of different techniques and styles with this quilt, which is really fun. The star in the center, and then you've got the applique flowers with the vine, the pinwheels, the diamonds, the arcs. So you're really getting like a lot of different kinds of things going on in this one quilt.
Yeah.
And it might be hard to tell, but they're all string pieced. So that's why it's called String Fling, because you're string piecing almost everything, which I sewed a few of the blocks to help Jen out, and I didn't realize how much I like string piecing. Cutting fabric up into little strings and then sewing it back together was really fun for me. So that, and then you're taking those strings and then applying them to other shapes and blocks. But I thought it was really fun.
One thing I really wanted to do, and I controlled myself, was add in scraps from my stash to coordinate. I think this would be a perfect quilt to just like pull in from stash too.
For sure. And if you had if you wanted to fussy cut some things too, I'm thinking there's one fabric I have that has a row like the 3 blind mice. You could just cut out a little row of 3 blind mice and sneak that into one of the strings. Like there's so much you could sneak in here. And because
some
it's
of our fabric we have in here did end up with little fussy, like there was one where I got a little bird on a triangle and stuff like that.
Yeah, or like the airplane or things. Yeah. So some of the fabrics do have opportunities for that. Most of them are blenders because they will be available. But we tried to sneak in some fun ones too that weren't just blendery, but it's already scrappy. You're getting 58 fabrics, I think, colored fabrics. So you get the background, a border, and then like 58 fabrics for your strings. So it's a lot of fabric, but you could still add more if you wanted to.
Oh yeah.
So we just got comment just validating that we run a good Block of the Month program. So this one is going to be just the same. And part of what Jen and Andrea have been talking about is how there's so many different techniques in this quilt, right? So first thing we want to say is that we do not recommend you join this Block of the Month if you've never finished a quilt before. Normally, we are all inclusive and we encourage everybody to do everything, but this is a lot of work. And it's also a lot of assumed knowledge in doing this. So while we are
piecing too.
Lots of piecing, yeah. So we are going to be providing videos And actually, we've rewritten part of the pattern to be easier to do. When you join the block of the month, you get access to the special videos on tips on creating different blocks, shortcuts. We actually corrected some of the math in the pattern, so don't worry about that. All of that is included with the block of the month subscription. However, we think that if you have never made a quilt before, you would not enjoy this process.
This would be a very ambitious first quilt. Yes. Yeah. I think if you were super determined, you could,
Right, exactly. If you really want to do it, we're not quilt police. We're not going to be like, you have to do whatever. You can join, but we are recommending this not be your very first quilt.
Yeah, even month 1 starts out with an 8-pointed star.
Right, which means triangles meeting in the center.
But yeah, I think the other thing that I was thinking of is how much fun it would be to actually like receive it in 6 months, but actually give yourself 12 months to do it.
That's a good point.
I will say that the pinwheel round, trying to get that done in just 2 days, it did. I had some words.
Yeah, so I did row 2 in like a weekend, but then Jen did pretty much everything in this almost a week, which was a lot.
It's been a lot, but it is really, really fun. And that was the only thing I was thinking as I was doing it was, geez, I wish that I didn't have to do it with a time crunch, because it would be so much fun.
Much more enjoyable.
Yeah, definitely more enjoyable.
Pieces. Yeah.
So Kim's asking if one of the techniques is English paper piecing, and it is not.
No.
There's no handwork at all, right?
No.
The only handwork kind of like it's actually not on the sample yet is there's yo-yos. And we can definitely talk about how we can do the yo-yos, or instead of yo-yos, just applying circles, or just not doing them.
I was going to say just leave them off, because the quilt is fantastic the way it is.
Yeah, they don't have the quilt you're looking at right now doesn't have the yo-yos, because you would put them on after you quilted it, and it looks great without them. So you could skip it if you wanted, no big deal.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessary.
Absolutely.
So let's quick talk about the techniques that are included, right? So we already talked about string piecing, and for those of you who are not familiar with that term, it means that there's a foundation and you're going to stitch a strip onto it, and then another strip, and then another strip, and then another strip. A lot of times when you hear of string block, you think of the foundation being another piece of fabric, which is a more old-fashioned way to do that. But in this case, you would be stitching onto paper, just like foundation paper piecing.
And it really just gives you like it gives you the shape structure that you're trying to fill, basically. So you don't have to sew on a specific line. You don't have to, get out your add a quarter ruler and your postcard and all of that kind of stuff. You're just using it. Will this fabric extend beyond the paper? Yes. Good. I'll sew it on and then trim at the end. So it's really forgiving, I thought.
It's great. The foundation is there. It's not just to give you the shape. It's like it stabilizes everything.
That too. Yes.
So it's really nice. The downside is you do then have to take the paper back out later, but that's a sit in front of the TV quietly.
I tried the water pen that we have that we sold for the Zoo family. I got to try it for the first time for this, and it worked great. And I forgot to lower my stitch length too, so I had loose stitches. Totally fine.
That's great. I'm about to add the water pen as an add-on option for this block of the month.
I had a feeling I was going to like that thing, and I did. It did exactly what it was supposed to do.
Yeah, my hands do not like ripping out that paper.
Didn't have to get out the tweezers. Totally good.
I would definitely say too that if you're like not into the foundation, like so for the pinwheels in particular, that had us doing a foundation thing, and if I had had to add one more additional component, there's no way I would have been able to finish it as quickly as I did. So I kind of did a cheater panel. So we'll talk about that too. So if you are really into the foundation, great. And if you do it in the 1 month and you go, this is not for me, we'll talk about how you can do it without that too.
That's cool. Okay, so we covered string piecing. How about applique? What kind of applique are we talking about for the applique row?
So there's two kinds of applique. There's the leaves here, and the arcs are all raw edge applique. And then there's this bias strip applique, which is a little bit different.
But it's all machine, right? No hand applique?
Yeah, there's the yo-yos would be the only hand work on this one, but yes, it was all machine.
Okay, so it's fused applique for everyone who's familiar with that
Oh yeah.
concept.
Yeah, it is supposed to be fused. I didn't fuse it.
Well, that's your.
That's me. My fusible didn't work, and I had a little hissy, and I just.
And you had a deadline, yeah.
And a deadline, right?
No. All right. What other techniques? We have Y seams, right?
There are Y seams starting in block 1, and in round 2 there are Y seams. So you'll get plenty of practice with the Y seams. The good
block
thing
2 doesn't have any Y seams.
Oh, three. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Month 2, the second one I did.
Got it.
These are Y seams in this, and they all match right here. So this would be the hard part where you have to get all your points to match, but you'll notice you just stick leaves over top of it. So you don't have to worry about it too much.
Yeah, that's pretty handy.
Question, what fabrics does this use?
This is all kinds of things. There's a lot. So the background, we should start with the background, is Starry in Mini by Ruby Star Society. So the black that you are looking at looks like this.
And
so
it's
it is black with
gold.
little tiny gold stars.
Are they metallic or not metallic?
It is metallic.
Okay.
Yep, it's a metallic gold. And then we have another version that we haven't shown you yet, but it uses the same fabric, Starry, it's like a natural cream color with little black stars.
Right.
So
you're gonna
have two options.
Black background or white background.
So that's the backgrounds. We have a text like stripe print for the little skinny borders, and then all kinds of things for the colors. There's a lot of Tula Pink tiny true colors, so tiny dots and tiny stripes. A lot of Juicy Juice Deco Glow too. What else is there? Oh, some of the Allison Glass Sun Print. So a lot of different blenders. They're mostly blenders though. But then there's a couple others kind of slipped in that are
and they come from all the different manufacturers, right?
Yes.
Andover, Free Spirit, whatever
art gallery, yeah, every
basically.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a little bit of everything.
Yep. And we are this block of month does use the exact fabrics you see in the picture. That's always important for people to know, is you're gonna get a finished quilt that looks exactly like the picture. Did we cover every technique? Was there any technique left?
So we've got half square triangles with the crumb piecing up here. And then we've got, these are more of the foundation piecing, but we're going to switch this because the way they have it done is that it's a V block. But we're going to have everybody redraft that as just a straight foundation paper piecing. So you don't have to worry about the points and stuff. And that's also the round where there was some math challenges. So we're going to fix that so you don't have to do it. Right. We don't have to teach you how to fudge it.
Yeah, you get the benefit of us figuring this stuff out already.
And let's repeat how big this quilt is, because it is gigantic.
It's huge, 84 inches.
84 by 84. So this is a queen size quilt. Next,
you could make it smaller if you wanted to just leave off one or two of the rows. I mean, I think you would be missing out because it is stunning the way it is, but if you really wanted to.
I mean, I think people know that about quilts in general, that like if they don't do the last row.
I'm not sure.
But, it is 84 by 84. Let's now show the white version, because we are offering this in 2 colors. So let me pull up the picture.
Because we can't make things simple.
Well, I mean, not everyone wants a black quilt, right? Or black.
Absolutely, yeah. It pops so nice on the black.
Yep. All right,
but
so let me share.
It looks pretty good on the white too.
It was so exciting as I was making it, because the original is a light background, and I was like, the fabric showed up, and it was like, all right, I trust Andrea. I'm gonna do this. And then it just kept getting better and better.
Yeah. So basically, all the foreground fabrics, all the string piecing, all the pinwheels, all of that is exactly the same in the two versions. The only thing that's changing is the background becomes white, and then those sashings that you see become, is it black or is it gray, Andrea?
It's black with a white text.
Yep. So this is sort of like the inverse of the black one in terms of color, but it's the exact same quilt, exact same instructions, exact same fabrics included, except for the background and the sashing fabric.
Right.
Which one do you guys like better? Do you like the black one or the white one? Leave a comment in the chat.
It's a tough call.
Tell us in the chat, what do you guys like better? I have a feeling the black one's going to sell better, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, the colors just pop so nice on that black.
It really does. All right, one vote for white.
I think the black is my favorite, but I do think it might be a little tougher to base a room around because it's so dramatic.
Because it's a queen size quilt. Yep, that's a good point. Maybe it's for your guest bedroom's queen size quilt.
Yeah.
It would look stunning on any wall also.
Oh yeah, you need a big wall though.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to put the QR code up for the block of the month on our website. Oh, right. It goes over our faces. This, if you scan this, it takes you to the landing page on our website that explains the program, explains what's included, what the timeline is, what the pricing is. Let's quickly talk about pricing. We're offering 3 options again, the same options we had for Zoo Family. So basically you get to pick a combination of, do I want to pay in full? Do I want to pay in 6 monthly payments? And do I want to receive 6 shipments, or do I want to just get 1 shipment up front, get everything in the first shipment, and then work at your own pace afterwards? So basically it's like monthly shipments, pay up front, monthly shipments, pay per month, or single shipment, you get everything up front, but of course you still have access to the 6 months of content that is in the block of the month, like the videos and the answer you can post in the feed and share with others and ask questions.
The updated foundation papers and that kind of, not the papers themselves, but the patterns.
Yeah. And the last part about pricing, we are doing an early bird special. So this doesn't start shipping until the end of the month in September. This block of the month will always ship towards the end of the month. Zoo Family is shipping towards the middle of the month, right? And these overlap in their timelines. But we are offering 15% off through the end of this month. So if you subscribe, sign up. I don't know, whatever the right word is.
Whatever.
If you sign up before August 1st, so by midnight on July 31st, then you get 15% off. And also, if you choose the pay in full or the single shipment option, you're saving up 10% in comparison to the monthly payment option. So for budget reasons, I understand that some people have to split up per month. But if you are able to pay up front, you get to save some more money too. Let's see what the comments are saying.
I would say that if you have the option, I would definitely, my personal preference would be all the way up front, because in the first month, you only get 5 of the pinks. So, you know, you're kind of limited with what you have. Like I actually, when I did the sample, I pulled out 5 of the pinks from because I had all of them to make the sample. And I was kind of wishing that I had a little bit more variety when I was piecing those strings together of the pink and the aqua. Like, so there was definitely kind of like, well, it would be more fun if I had all the fabrics to play with all of them at once, because I'm a scrappy quilter. This is my favorite kind. If anything, there was not enough different fabrics for me.
Yeah. You wanted it even scrappier?
I absolutely would have added 300 more different pieces.
58's not enough.
And nobody would be able to make the same one, but that's my goal.
Right.
Yeah. Sometimes when it gets that scrappy, to me, it ends up looking kind of old-fashioned if there's like too much going on. So this, I like that it's like a modern take on a scrappy quilt.
Yeah.
By the second month, you have a lot. You have at least 5 of every color, I think.
Yeah.
And then you get a couple more as you go. But yeah, for that month, you have a pretty good selection.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. The questions we usually get about every block of the month when we launch it is, do we ship international? Yes, we do. You should pick the single shipment option if you are international, and the shipping and the customs will be calculated during your checkout process after you've entered the shipping address. We would not want to ship 6 shipments international. You wouldn't want to pay for that either.
No.
If one gets lost, blah, 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 right? So always we do the single shipment for international, and we can't cover that shipping. So it is an additional cost. But for US customers, the shipping is included in the price when you sign up. There's no additional shipping costs unless you add some add-on items, which we're offering like a backing option and a bunch of different tools and stuff. It does cost us more to ship if you add a backing, especially because the backing is huge. So then those shipping costs would be added in the cart. What else is something people ask?
Do you want to show the backings?
Oh,
Yeah,
sure.
that's what I was just going to ask.
What a good idea.
Because I had seen the one, but then the other one had my mouth hanging open. And I'm in love with it, and I think I need some.
Well,
I think
you
they're
just
both
order
pretty
some.
good.
I know.
Here's together the 2 backing options. So this is, I assume, is the one Jen is saying she's so excited about.
That's going to go so well with the front of the quilt.
Yeah, and for either the black or the white version.
Right, exactly. Both backing options could go for either one.
Yeah. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of white backing, but if you like a white backing, you like a
Yeah.
white.
That's why we have 2 options.
Exactly. And actually, speaking of that, Andrea, the white background, is that a white or is it more like a creamy white?
It's an off-white, almost. Yeah, off. I
Like
would call
kind
it
of like
off-white.
snow-ish?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I had described it as a off-white or something in the description, but I wasn't actually sure.
Well, it's not exactly. So Ruby Star, they have like an unbleached. I wouldn't say that this, well, maybe it is. It doesn't have like the striae that like or spots like an unbleached cottonwood.
Usually-
They don't
usually
really do whites.
Right. But usually you can tell if it's a not bleach one by the selvage.
I mean, it has a selvage.
I
don't know what the difference is between a bleached selvage and an unbleached.
Because it'll be like, I don't know how to explain it. I can tell if I look at it.
Is it just a little creamier?
Hey, look, CJ has joined us. Hold
Yes.
CJ up.
CJ was very helpful in the process.
I bet.
Thanks.
Yeah, my cat tried to help too, but that was I had the spray bottle out.
My cat helped by sitting in front of my monitor while I was working.
That is helpful.
Yeah.
I have a video of CJ doing applique with me. I mean,
Doing applique. Yeah. All right. Is there anything else we need to cover? Because I feel like we did that much quicker than I was expecting to. Does anyone who's watching have any questions? Did we forget to tell you something that might be?
So the videos will stay up kind of indefinitely.
Oh, right. Yeah. So we, for those of you who aren't yet haven't done any of our programs yet that have virtual content, we always host them inside our Gotham Quilts community site, which is basically a separate website that kind of looks like Facebook, but doesn't have your aunt trying to sell you leggings in it or any ads. So that's why we created this thing, which we call the community site, so we could host our groups and conversations with customers without having to interact with Facebook. Some companies do Facebook groups for this purpose, right? So when you purchase one of these programs, or if you sign up for like our free sew-alongs, it works the same way. You get access to the space inside the community site that is for that content. So like tutorial videos or whatever it might be. And then you have access to that forever or until, the internet stops working or whatever. Or maybe we stop being a business, which is not happening. Don't worry. That was not a prediction or anything. So basically all the content will be available for you. You could take your time. You could, Jen had suggested before, you do a block of a section over 2 months instead of one per month, so that you don't have to work as hard every month. You could do a section every 3 or 4 months for all, it's totally up to you.
Right. And the only people trying to sell you anything in Mighty Networks is us.
Yeah, and it's never leggings.
No.
We're not trying that hard.
No, we're not. We had a question about special tools.
Oh, right.
So there aren't really special tools that you need. There's a couple that might be nice. And we are going to offer those as add-ons. The water pen would be one. What else? Foundation paper,
Yep.
Things like that.
We're offering 2 types of Seam, which is the fusible interfacing that you use to do fused applique. I'll show you what they look like, because you might wonder why you need both. You don't. You could pick one or the other depending on how you like to work, right?
Right.
So we're offering both because they serve different purposes and they save you time. So the first one is a regular fusible interfacing. It's double-sided and it measures 12 inches wide by 3 yards long. So you're going to subcut it for the different blocks that you're using it for. On the other one, it's actually a tape. So it's a 1/2 inch wide and then 20 yards long. This is specifically made for things like in this quilt, we're going to use it when we do that, the bias.
Fine.
What's the word? Vine. That's the word. That Jen was showing on the quilt before, where the applique flowers are, they have this vine. And it's pretty annoying to cut tiny interfacing. So this is already pre-cut for you.
Yeah.
So that's kind of nice. So that's the 2 different kinds of interfacing that we're offering. Suggested add-ons. What else do we have here? We're suggesting, here's the foundation paper. I really like this foundation paper because it's easy to tear. And you can use a photocopier, you can use your printer to print right on it. And then the last one was that water pen, but I guess I didn't add it on this screen. Let's go here. Yeah, here it is. This water pen was new to us a couple months ago. We learned about this from Cassandra, who designed the Zoo Family pattern. She's like, oh, look, it says this is an add-on for Zoo Family. It's not that. But she told us about this, and we were like, wait, what? So the idea here is you put water in this pen, and then when you're done piecing your foundation paper, you use that pen to apply a little bit of water to the stitches, and then it melts the paper because
it weakens the paper. Yeah, makes it easier to rip.
And then you can pull more easily. And I love that idea.
And I used it for the first time on this quilt, and it worked perfectly. Like the water, it's just the right amount. It doesn't make a mess. It's not all over the place. It worked really well.
That's great. I just realized that this one isn't on sale, so I'm fixing that right now. So we're giving 10% off the tools and 15% off the backings. The backings,
that's pretty good.
Yeah. So if you sign up right away, you get a better price.
And how long is the discount for?
Through the end of the month. So sign up by midnight on the 31st.
I was too busy doctoring pictures right up until the last minute
to pay that.
to get the details.
Yeah, exactly. I'm fixing the price right now.
We should rename the quilt to the, this took a long time at the last minute quilt.
That would be all of our projects, though.
Yeah, we have a tendency to do things at the last minute. It's very true.
Yeah, we even gave ourselves an extra week, and it was still the last minute.
Just so it's a lot. It's very intense, and it gets obviously as the months go along, the rows get longer and the workload gets harder.
That's true.
Yeah, bigger. So it's.
But we're ending in February, right? So like if you skip December or you skip November because you're busy with your life, January is like the perfect time to catch up on all that sewing.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. All right. I will put the QR code back up in case anyone needs to scan that. And we'll send an email out it's actually not going to be tomorrow's email because tomorrow we have a something else that's closing. So I guess I should mention that. We have one place left on our Half Square Triangle virtual retreat, which is happening the second weekend in August, not October. So if you want a spot, now's the time to grab one. Signups close tomorrow at midnight for that. So that's tomorrow's email. This will be Thursday's email. Oh my God, CJ's going crazy.
Her nose belongs on, or her tongue belongs on my face, and we haven't figured out how to unlearn.
Yeah.
She wants to make out with you, basically.
She's very sweet. She's very affectionate and sleepy.
All right. Do we have any housekeeping or updates that we need to tell people about?
We are QuiltCon solids. One of them is on back order from the manufacturer right now. So
right.
A couple people are waiting for those orders. They've told us it should be available the mid-August. They assured me that because this happened last year with the artisan.
It was so much worse last year.
Yeah, and the year before that, actually. So every time they do a challenge, they end up running out of fabric, and they assured me it would not happen this time. I didn't really believe them, and they ran out of fabric. So, but it is coming. We have it on order. It'll be here hopefully mid-August.
What's that fool me once thing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We've got experience here.
Right, but it is coming. It will be back, and so we'll get those out as soon as we can. Tabby Road is supposed to be shipping next week.
And we've actually pre-sold almost everything we ordered.
So if that's something you had your eye on, don't wait.
Yep. And we have plenty of Minky left, but of the quilting cottons, they're almost sold out.
Right. And I don't think we'll be able to get any more. So
no, we definitely can't.
So go in and place those orders now while you still can.
I should put my order in.
Oh, we still have tourmaline kits. We have a couple tourmaline kits. What we showed you that's what we did last week, right?
Yes.
I can't remember what happened a week ago. We have those. We have some other stuff that I'm totally drawing a blank on. Doing a good sales pitch here.
Yeah. I think all of us are exhausted. And the heat wave in New York City has now subsided. But I feel like everyone's still recovering from what we went through the last couple of weeks. Like, it's like we're drained,
Yeah.
We're still doing the Sylvia sew along this week. Now that I'm done with this, I will be back in there doing our embroidery portion.
Nice.
And then we have Color Journey and
Color Journeys and Creative Hand Stitching Journey signups for the September cohort. Where did I even get that word from? That signups are still open. I'm going to send another email about that to remind you all of that as well.
I think that covers it.
I think it does. I'm so excited about this block of the month, and I cannot wait to show it to everybody. Not everyone attends live on our videos, and we understand people have lives. So you'll get an email. Everyone will get an email on Thursday. So that maybe that's the real launch, because that's when the email goes out. But you get like sneak peek advance notice if you came live.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. We will be back next week at the same time, Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, New York City time. And we hope to see you there. I'm sure, I promise we'll have something fun for next week too. I can't find my button. Okay. Bye. See you next week.